Ladies and gentlemen, the Raid Shadow Legends 6th anniversary is upon us, and with it, we have gotten probably one of the best free gifts Plarium has ever given away in Raid Shadow Legends, and that's right, that is of course the legendary champion Supreme Galak. Now I gotta be honest, based on from what I've heard about the previous anniversaries for Raid Shadow Legends, I was not expecting them to go this direction. They've done some other kind of like character events in the past, other characters that they've given away, but they've never ever previously given away a Void legendary champion. For my new players out there who don't really know, Void is like a tertiary or kind of fourth element, not tertiary, a fourth element that sits outside of the regular kind of effective elemental system in this game between, you know, magic, force, and spirit. And it has no super effective elements that counter it. It's also not super effective against anything else, but having that elemental type makes them more effective in approaching all of the different game modes in this game. You have a unit that effectively works as an all-rounder when they fall into the Void typing. And so the fact that they are giving away this legendary Void champion for free is a pretty big deal. Now, if what we're talking about in today's video gets you really excited and interested to try Raid Shadow Legends, which honestly you should, I think now is probably going to be one of the best times to jump into the game. If you have not yet already, you can sign up with my link in the description or in the pinned comment of this video. And if you do, you're going to get the free epic champion Zargala on your account, as well as some other goodies to help raise her up. But once you reach level 15, you're also going to get the supporter champion Yugo on your account, who's a great debuffer and cleanser available, great for PvP or PvE based content. So make sure to do that. Then, once you've created your new account, you get to use the gift code Supreme6, just spelled just like this on screen right here, Supreme6. And if you go ahead and use that, you can use it. It's only valid for new players. So unfortunately, myself, I am going to be robbed a little bit for getting Supreme Galak on my account, but it is what it is. For you new player wanting to start a new account, it's going to be the best time for you to go ahead and do that. So I want to pop over and take a look at Galak here for just a minute, and I figured I wanted to talk about that. I figured it'd be a good time to kind of provide you with a few additional details about the character. So Supreme Galak has actually been part of the Raid Shadow Legends game since about 2024. I think it's close to a year now that he's been available in this game. He is a legendary attacker and definitely someone who's going to greatly benefit your account. His first ability is going to give you a 2-hit multi-attack on his account, which each one has a 10% extra chance of inflicting a critical hit. Each hit also has a 40% chance of increasing the duration of any HP burn debuffs on the target by 1 turn. So it can be really good for getting that dot applied. He also, on his skill 2, attacks 4 champions at random, placing a 50% increase attack buff on the champion for 3 turns before attacking. Meaning, he's going to self-apply an increased attack buff and then get all of those attacks on. So it's perfect for countering any other units that are going to strip away buffs off your characters. Sometimes if you apply a buff on one unit, before the other unit gets the benefit from that buff, they're going to get stripped by another team's or an enemy team's account. So like in PvP, for example, if you got like a buff stripper on the other team. But in this case, because it's built into his kit, you're never going to bump into that issue. You're always going to be able to have that applied. Each hit has a 10% chance of inflicting a critical hit, extra 10% chance, and each hit also has a 75% chance of instantly activating any HP burn debuffs on each target and decreasing the duration of those HP burns debuffs by 1 turn. Again, stacking those HP burns. HP burn is a really powerful debuff in this game, guys. It helps get a lot of additional damage off. If you don't know, just to give you a full description here for HP burn, so when a champion is under an HP burn debuff, it starts their turn, they and all their allies take damage equal to 3% of the individual's max HP. There can only be 1 HP burn debuff active on a champion at a time. So meaning this is a team-wide debuff that gets applied, and it's built into his kit to apply it and to increase the duration of it. It's a very powerful debuff. His final part of his ability here is it fills the champion's turn meter by 30% if 3 or more HP burn debuffs are activated during the attack. Meaning, when it gets applied, it's gonna just continue to increase his turn meter. Turn meter manipulation is huge, especially in PvP. And for some bosses in particular too. Finally, on his ultimate, Unreasoning Outburst attacks all enemies, has a extra 10% chance of inflicting a critical hit, has a 75% chance of placing an HP burn and block buff debuffs for 2 turns. So now not only are you applying an attack buff, you're applying HP burns, you're going to block buffs from the enemy team, making them not able to apply any kind of immunity or preventing the debuffs from being applied. all great rounder in her kit. Also, places a 30% decreased speed debuff on targets whose turn meter is higher than 50%, meaning you're going to stop them from taking their turn, stop them from getting the cooldown on the debuffs, and stop. Like, it's a busted kit, guys. He's a very strong unit. Now, I don't have Supreme Gallic on my account, but I wanted to talk a little bit about kind of like gear and what you're going to be looking for when you get the Supreme Gallic on your account. So Supreme Gallic really does excel in clan bosses, Hydra, Doom Tower, the Spider, Dragon, does exceptionally well, and is also still very helpful in the hard mode of the different towers as well, excluding Fire Knight. He's not necessarily optimal for Fire Knight, but going to also be a great addition to your arena and to your faction war. So one of the first ones that's going to be a great benefit to him if you've been playing the game for any amount of time is the Relentless set. It's going to be really helpful. You get an 18% chance to get an extra turn with this character, and the consecutive chance is reduced by 45%, but that's just to stop him from attacking infinitely, you know? But getting those extra attacks off and getting those extra turns in to keep stacking the HP burn, super useful there. Another set you can have some interest in looking at is on the Reflex set, 40% chance to reduce random skill cooldown. So just allowing him to get his skill 2 off a little more frequently. Maybe you get lucky and it's going to also reduce the cooldown on his ultimate ability as well. Getting him to apply those abilities faster, just going to be a huge benefit. Then of course, one very usual go-to in raid, guys, is the Perception set. Increases his accuracy for applying those debuffs, and you get a little bit of extra speed along with there. This is produced in the Forge, if you didn't know. And then of course, some other staple sets if you're still earlier in the game. Accuracy sets are going to be a huge benefit, as well as just getting him some additional speed to go more frequently. Also, speed is just always a great stat to have. You're going to be wanting to prioritize accuracy, speed, crit rate, crit damage, and attack. Of course, you know, building him like a very standard DPS unit, get him in there fast and have him hit hard. One of the blessings you're going to be looking at for him, once you get him awakened, is Cruelty. This is going to be great for him the whole way through, from a 1-star awakening all up to a 6-star awakening. Whenever this champion hits an enemy, decreases their defense until the end of the round, occurs once per hit. If multiple champions have this blessing, and you still cannot decrease a single champion's defense by more than 40% or decrease the boss's defense by more than 20%. Just going to be really helpful for getting that damage off, guys. He's gonna be absolutely clapping cheeks, as they like to say. For his talents, if you are curious, I'll throw them up on screen for you here. He's got kind of 3 different talent trees you can go down. You can either do one for boss killing, especially one if you want to have him focused on Hydra, because he's very strong on Hydra, or if you wanted to build him as a PvP nuker. So I'll have those all kind of overlaid for you here. So anyway, I just wanted to give you that kind of brief overview of the champion of Supreme Gallic. Let me pull him up here again really quick. Really great time to join Raid, guys, if you have not played already. New accounts, Supreme 6 to get this champion. Special shout out to Hell Hades for providing a lot of the information about kind of like how to build the character here. Now again, if you are interested in trying Raid Shadow Legends for the first time, you can use my link in the description. And if you do, you are going to get the free Epic Champion Zargala on your account, who's another very strong debuffer that you can have to start your account off with. On top of that, there is another champion you'll get upon reaching level 15, and that is the Epic Support unit Yugo, who's a great debuffer in Cleanser as well. Good for PvP and both PvE content. On top of that, you're going to get an XP barrel, which allows you to max the level on a character, 300,000 silver, some potions, some other goodies as well, just to really get your account started off on the right foot. Great way to start off your account in 2025, so I would definitely recommend doing so. But I hope you found this video to be helpful. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you next time.